He's wired.
Hey guys, my name's DocJade. Are you looking for that special connection? Well, too bad. Today we're playing with Wireless, a mod that removes the connections between power poles. Let's get started. Like usual, trees, rocket debris, iron, and copper. Now it's time to set up power production. But I already forgot I can't move the electricity around. That's fine, I'll just put the lab over here for now and start running a belt over for coal. There's automation. Next up is turrets. Actually, instead of bringing the coal to the boilers, we'll bring the boilers to the coal. Since we can't move electricity around, we'll just move steam around and put steam engines next to everything that needs power instead. I'll give iron the same treatment. Then copper. But then I ran out of building supplies. With copper done, let's start working on our smelting arrays. Since we only have the basic power poles, we need a lot of steam engines to power everything. Good thing they don't waste steam when they're idle. The biters are here a bit earlier than expected, but since the nest is so small, we can just set up a turret and worry about it later. Turrets. Next up is military. After a bit more work on the smelter, military. Next up is logistics. There's logistics. Next up is walls. We'll probably need them pretty soon. Time to start plugging in the ores. First up is iron. Then copper. And there we go, our first smelting array. It only took about an hour. I'll expand steam production a bit, then we can build a bus and start making some ammo. I should really set up some walls. Anyway, there's ammo. Now I'll start grabbing stone for wall production. I should probably hurry, but you know me. Instead, I got distracted and started setting up gear production. Now that that's done, we can finally set up brick production. There we go. Now we can start making walls. Oh boy. Time to finally take out that nest. I'll set up a wall to cover our assets while we're taking out the nest. Good stuff. And I'll also take out the one to the north. We'll start working on science soon, but first let's finish the wall. Might as well take out these nests too. Looks like that was all the nests that were absorbing pollution. The biter attack should stop for a while. There we go, walls. Now we can finally set up red science production. Then we can throw down some labs, research lamps, and then green science. Next up is steel, then electronics, and solar panels. After flawlessly placing some assemblers, we've got belt production. Now I'll set up a little spot for steel, which thankfully reminds me that medium power poles exist. So we'll research those. And with some wacky belts, there's green circuits. Since inserters need 3 ingredients, they're a bit trickier, but not too complicated. After inserting the inserters onto the belt, we've got green science. Since I can never seem to make up my mind, let's research assembler 2s and steel furnaces before we finish medium power poles. Then we'll turn the bus 90 degrees and start working on turrets for the walls. Steel furnaces, let's go upgrade the old ones. There's medium power poles, and after a bit more work, there's solar panels. Projectile damage couldn't hurt. And after that, we'll research red belts. Now that we're fully surrounded with turrets, let's start working on blue science. Since I don't want to run pipes all the way over to the oil patch, we'll use a train. Lab research speed, logistics 2, engine, fluid handling, and railway. I was going to put the train right here, but we need a bit more room for oil refining. Let's expand the base a bit. There's fluid wagons and train stations. Now I'll queue the rest of Blue Science's prerequisites. Oil processing and sulfur. And there we go. Now let's plonk down that train. There's plastic. Since we can't run a power line out to the oil outpost, we'll need to bring steam with us. Red circuits. And now for everyone's favorite research. Steel axe. After running coal over to the train, we can lay some track, get sidetracked, and get the train on track. This is why I researched solar panels. While we wait for steam power to bootstrap, I'll place the pump jacks. And there we go, oil. After a suspiciously quick unload, let's set up oil refining. For now, we can just use one oil refinery until we make enough blue science for advanced oil processing. I went to queue the research and then realized we're just one step away from finally having substations. That will make our lives so much easier. There's blue science. After queuing some more research, I'll grab some water for sulfur, then start handcrafting the science. Concrete, productivity modules, batteries, stack inserters, and finally, substations. I'll get started on advanced oil processing, and then put steel on the bus. There we go. Let's get started on a full-size oil setup. Substations give us a lot more room to work with. Now for cracking. And that's oil. Now I'll throw in some plastic. Okay, let's start moving the bus up and build some dedicated copper wire production. For green circuits, of course. I'll also start working on cliff explosives. Let's finish those green circuits. Then we can rebuild our iron mine to increase its output just a tad. A level of mining productivity should help too. With green circuits completely up and running with no missing belts whatsoever, we can start working on red circuits. There we go, although a little more couldn't hurt. I'm a firm believer that less is more when you don't know how to count, but just in case, I'll add 7 more boilers to steam production for a grand total of 5. The substations in the red circuit setup started connecting to each other somehow, but placing them a second time fixed it. Anyways, now that red circuits are done, we're out of room again, so you know what that means. Time to upgrade copper. Once we're done with that, let's see if we can squeeze blue science into this corner. The ratio of engines to blue science is basically 1-to-1, so we can just insert them directly. After belting pipes and not piping belts, we've got engines. A few pipes later, we've got sulfur. Add some delicious red chips, and we're done. After running the science down to the lab, let's queue everything we need for construction robots. No logistics bots though, they make challenge runs too easy. Let's start working on the bots one item at a time. Next up is batteries, but it's getting a bit cramped in here, so let's expand again. Oh, and before I forget, I'll queue everything I'll need for personal robots and blue circuits. Construction robots, modular armor, personal solar, and personal roboport. Slowly but surely, I finish the expansion. Before we get started on purple science, we should probably get some more iron. Luckily, there's this little patch to the left of the base. Iron production would be a lot easier to fit in here if I had some electric furnaces. So I'll start researching them, and then immediately build steel furnaces because I didn't want to wait. After some belt weirdness, it's on the bus. Okay, let's finish the wall and tear down the old one. Now I'll set up sulfur, sulfuric acid, and batteries. That reminds me, I totally forgot to start using the personal robots. Let me grab all the ingredients and start making some. Then we can tear down iron production yet again to try and maximize our output. That helped a little, but it's still too slow. Let's build another smelting array. Looks like the research is starting up again. There's worker robot speed 2, electric furnaces, and blue circuits. I'm not sure if this smelter is completely oversized or just future-proof. Regardless, it looks like we need to upgrade to red belts now. After doing that, let's finally start working on purple science. I'll queue a couple important sciences, then we need to figure out how we're going to put stone on the bus. Conveniently, I only use one side of this coal belt that already goes up to plastic production, so we can just throw the stone on the other side. Also, let's put productivity in the labs before I forget. After snaking stone up to the bus, I'll throw together a quick design for purple science. It went pretty smoothly, but I did accidentally put rails and furnaces on the same side of the belt. But after a quick fix, we've got purple science. Now we just have to get it back to the labs. All of this new production increased steam demand quite a bit, so I had to upgrade coal mining. Speaking of mining, we have extra iron ore over here. Might as well bring it over to the main smelting array. And it looks like yellow ammo isn't quite cutting it anymore, so we'll have to switch to red ammo after I finish the iron belt. There we go. But now steel production is lacking, especially since we need to make low density structures soon. I'll add some more furnaces. Before we research yellow science, let's research another level of mining productivity and do some base maintenance. We'll add some more steam production and fix half of our new smelting array. While building even more steam production, I went to get pipes and accidentally got belts. There's mining productivity. Time for yellow science. First up is low density structure. Then I'll queue rocket fuel, speed, and productivity modules. Next up is blue circuits. Then I'll bring up the sulfuric acid and batteries. I'll also put more productivity in expensive recipes. And build way too many labs. Now let's make the flying robot frames. Since batteries and electric engines are already done, we just need steel and green circuits. Although we are kinda low on steel at the moment. Speaking of low, we're also running out of copper. But it looks like it's a smelting speed issue, not a lack of ore. So we can just switch the right half of the smelter to copper, then upgrade to red belts. Then we can build some more steel production. rebuild the second iron mine, and finally start making yellow science. Then we can queue rocket control units and the rocket silo. After some really nasty belt work, we're researching. While we wait, time for even more productivity modules, even in things that make no sense, including one of the smelting arrays. Oh yeah, we should probably set up rocket fuel. Rocket fuel is one of my favorite recipes, since it's made entirely out of liquids. Still lacking on steel, time for even more, until we ran out of iron. Then immediately after, copper started running out as well. Time for even more productivity, then we can upgrade the smelters too. I'm not sure if this is a stupid idea, but hear me out. I'm going to research beacons so I can try to squeeze more productivity out of a few labs, instead of wasting productivity by spreading it out between a lot of labs. Copper is still a little weak, so let's rebuild the mine to squeeze some more ore out of it. But as it turns out, I just forgot to upgrade a single belt. Man, we never get a break. Now it's time to increase steam production. Then before I forget, I'll throw together speed module production. We'll need them for the rocket control units. A little while later, speed module 3s are finally done. Only 2 researches to go. But we can't just stand around. We need even more steel, which means we need even more iron plates, which means we need even more iron ore. But I checked down south to make sure that we can borrow some more ore for ore base. But we've got to be careful here. Since the mining setup doesn't have any defenses, we'll need to keep an eye on it. I'll place a single turret just in case. After upgrading the ore delivery belt, rocket control units are done. Now we just need to wait for the silo. I totally forgot to watch the iron patch and the biters destroyed it. Whatever, I'll just rebuild it. You've gotta be kidding me. One more time. I'll go throw speed modules in all of the iron ore miners, except this one. We hate this one. But now we're just low on coal. So instead of doing the obvious, I'll just make more electric furnaces for iron. Speaking of which, we still don't have enough. Purple Science stopped due to everyone's favorite item, iron sticks. All of the iron is being eaten by steel production, but we can just scale it back a bit. I'm pretty sure there's enough yellow and blue science on the bus to finish researching the silo, so I'll tear them down. Then I'll set up some rocket control units. Might as well stockpile all of the rocket ingredients while we wait. We're still low on purple science, but it's just slow. The biter attacks are getting pretty intense. Hopefully we can get out of here soon. Concrete. I almost forgot about concrete. Just gotta bring the water over. Rocket supplies are looking pretty good, but I doubt we'll be able to stockpile enough before we finish researching the silo. The biters on the lower wall are really starting to annoy me, so I relocated them 6 feet downwards. For my non-American friends, that's a tad less than 2 washing machines. We're making nice progress on the research. Let's just hope our copper patch doesn't run out. Oh, come on. Don't need this anymore. Finally, there's the silo. I always forget, the silo takes a ludicrous amount of steel. After scrounging around for a bit, and grabbing some productivity modules, there's the silo. Now we just need to wait. Luckily, we can just wait faster. Our bottleneck is low density structure, so I'll reroute all of the copper from green circuits. But now we're low on rocket control units due to a lack of green circuits. Fun. While I was considering potential solutions, the biters started attacking the oil outpost. I'll fix that. We're still low on speed modules, so I'll just start stealing them from the miners. The biters attack the oil outpost again, but I think we have enough oil laying around, so I don't really care. A little while later, the rocket is done, but since we're low on power, it sure does take its sweet time. Now let's get out of here. "14.5 hours. Not bad. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of my supporters on Ko-fi. Their contributions allow me to ruin my cardiac health, one rockstar at a time. And that's all for today. My name's DocJade. Bye-bye.